This is Corky Carroll coming to you from Zihuatanejo in deep dark Mexico. I moved down to this area of the world about 20 years ago and opened up a surfing retreat, I guess you'd call it. People come and stay at our house and I'd go surf with them and give them drinks and tell them stories. I started painting when I was very young, doing watercolors. And then later, in the 1980s, I did a lot of airbrush paintings, sold them at a gallery down in Dana Point Harbor when I worked at Surfer Magazine. When I moved to Mexico, one of our first guests did acrylics. And when he left me on a small acrylic set. He goes, "Hey, you like to paint? Try these." So I did bought a couple canvases and did a couple of paintings. It was, kind of got into it. It was kind of fun. I hung a few on the walls, and before long, people were asking if they could buy them. So I started selling them. Kind of the more I painted, the more people bought them, and the more stoked I got. And so before long, I was like painting all the time, and kind of retired from the surfing part of the business, and have become a full-time artist. The stoke I get from painting is the same stoke I would get from surf. It's really keeping my energy going and keeping me alive. I love painting. It's great. And my influences for painting are kind of varied. My favorites would be Paul Gauguin and Diego Rivera, Jerome Gastaldi, and I love all of the surf artists. The guys that kind of I'm influenced from are guys that I sort of like relate to their styles. Kim McNair back in Florida is an amazing surf artist. Rob Havasey is incredible. Wade Koniakowski, I love his, and Kurt Ziegler. Those are guys, when I look at their paintings, I go, oh man, I really love that. I really kind of like feel it. I'm painting almost exclusively with acrylics these days. I would like to get back into using airbrush. I'm going to try to set up something in the backyard and eventually kind of try to combine acrylics and airbrush, because I like both of those and I think they would fit together really well. I just get inspired from anything. I used to think about like surfing all the time and dream about surfing all the time. Now I think about paintings and dream about paintings. What I really try to do in my paintings is convey a feeling. It's like something I'll know about or I'll see or I've experienced. I describe my style as lost in the twilight zone between cartoon and reality, yet neither. That pretty much sums it up. Always based on something that I've kind of like felt or feel. And if I can convey that feeling into the painting and somebody can hang it on their wall and look at it and smile and make them happy, then I've like succeeded. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to make, people happy when they see my paintings. I like to paint first thing in the morning when I wake up. I'll get up and I'll get my coffee and I'll check my email and messages, and that's when I want to paint. I'm kind of the most clear-headed at that time of day. I find I spend probably every day almost, I spend the first half or 3/4 of the day painting or working on music. I'm still doing music. It's either surfing or painting or playing music, one of the three. What motivates me to create is like just this passion I have for doing the paintings. I love to paint. Usually what I'll do is I have a sketch pad. I'll sketch something out and kind of get an idea of how I think it's going to go. And then I'll just stick a canvas up and go for it. Sometimes I'll just throw some paint on the canvas and spread it around and see where it goes. But it's always sort of with an idea in the back of my mind of where I want it to go. Lately, I've been doing paintings of like favorite surfing areas, or I like to paint waves and stuff like that. Things that I like to paint. Surfing obviously has been my life, and that's where I draw most of my inspiration and ideas from. There's always this debate: is surfing a sport or is it an art form? For me, it's been everything. It's been a sport. I've made my living from being a pro surfer. It's definitely an art form because it's like, super creative. It's like dancing or skiing or you're creating stuff physically, and it's also a lifestyle too. A lot of people live a surfing life. And I think if I would look back at mine, I would say mine has been a surfing life. Now, luckily, I can convey a lot of that experience and feelings that I've had through the years into my paintings. And I hope people like them, because I sure like doing them. And I want to continue doing them. So, it's an adventure.